All right, genuinely have no idea why it does that, but it. All right, stick that in there. Can return to collecting slime. Sick. All right, cool. While that's going on, we will be collecting. Oh gosh. ah, ah. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. We will be collecting sheep or wool. I should take these off. Chicken in here. That's only the right thing. That seems absolutely correct. Do 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 do. My dog is barking and won't stop. Love it. Okay, I'm probably going to need to breed these guys some more. I don't really want to, but I don't see a way of doing it with... Doesn't seem like a good idea to not breed them. So... I feel like it would be worth it. Maybe extending their pens a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. I don't have a whole lot of room without making this area look really gross. Like, not a whole lot that I'm getting. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm doing okay. Gotta trust the process, you know? No, I'm gonna breed them. I'm gonna breed them. There's no way I'm not. Yeah, we're breeding all these guys. Come on, guys. All of y'all need to be bred. Okay. Sung, how are you? I personally think that stream in 3 minutes ago, then I realized that he is live now. Mr. Tom, what's going on? Yeah, for some reason, when I started the stream, every now and then it doesn't, like... There's this little window that pops up and it like updates YouTube settings, and for every now and then it just doesn't work, and so yeah, I had to restart it. I don't know. There was like, because I do dual streaming on YouTube, so there is a stream that goes to the shorts feed, and then there's the normal stream that's like on my channel, I guess. That's like the horizontal normal stream. and for some reason the horizontal stream didn't pop up properly, and I don't know, I'm not a computer wizard or anything, so I just stopped the stream and restarted it. And that seemed to do something. You know, whether or not it's working or not, I don't know. But here we are. What's going on? Hope you're doing well today. I don't know if everybody's out from school, but I know school in my area is finally out, so cheers to summer break. Haha, I don't know what you said, but hello, welcome to the stream. Alright. Come on, guys. Over here, over here, over here. Come on, this way. This way. There we go. Hold on. No. Guys. We're not done here. We're not done here. We're not done here. We're not done here. Is that everybody? No, it's not everybody. Wait, why are sheep dying? We need more space? Maybe? I got an egg. Okay, hold on, let's see. Ah, no. Now what's going on today? IR. Interesting. Today we are working on gathering slime blocks and gathering a bunch of wool. My goal is to fill up all these shulker boxes with their respective wool, because I'm going to need all of these to turn into carpet, so that I can put the design down on top of the slime block floor. Oh, dude, I got the hiccups. Slime block floor in the end. Because I have a design in mind that I want to put down. So, yeah, that's what we're working on mainly today, is just rinse and repeat gathering wool, because I don't like myself, maybe, in some weird universe. But we can check on how many slime blocks we have. We're getting really close to being done with the slime block collection. We're somewhere around here. There we are. Right there. Right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more double chests to fill up, I think. Or is that right? Is here? No. No, we have 6. So that's what we're working on. And then at the end of today, we have to gather 1 block of ancient debris, and we have to get 1 block of or no, we have to get 3 blocks of diamond ore. Why am I sick of it? Because I initially didn't realize how long it was going to take, if I'm being honest with you. And when I first started this project, I was like, well, I can just make other farms while I wait for this to continue collecting slime blocks. And that's what I did. I built this farm, I built this farm, I built that farm. There is a resin farm over there and a cactus farm. And then I made a farm for, I made like my sheep, as well as I have sheep over there. I made an XP farm right there. And so during that time, I was collecting slime blocks the entire time. But now that I'm like done making all the farms that I need, basically all the farms in the game, I made a wither skeleton farm as well. I can have beacons for the end, and just basically beacons anywhere else. But yeah, I could have. This is also a slime farm, but I forget how it works. It uses like snow golems. But anyways. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of tired of it. I thought I would be done collecting slime if I used my time and did other stuff. I also made this auto brewer for my slime potions, obviously. And when's the new video coming? I don't know. Once I get the floor done in the end, that's probably going to be my next video. So, probably in the next, I'll start working on that video. I imagine it's going to take me probably a couple more weeks to put in the floor and put in the design, because I needed 200 and like just over 263,000 blocks of slime, and then I'm gonna need 263,000 pieces of carpet. Obviously they're gonna be different colors, so I gotta collect all that as well. So it's probably gonna be a few more weeks before I start working on that video. So I would say probably another month or month and a half, maybe. I really have no idea. It depends on how much I get to play over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see how things go. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but yeah, no. Do 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 do. Okay. Back to collecting these guys. So yeah. Do you have any plans for summer break? Anything crazy going on this year or this summer? I don't think I'm doing anything this summer. Don't have any trips planned that I can think of. We're also trying to save a bunch of money. Got some big expenses coming up. So we're planning for that. And just travel is not something that we feel is in our best interest currently as we plan for those big expenses. But maybe this, I don't know, maybe in the fall. Then again, fall is like a super busy time of the year. You got a bunch of holidays that come in. You got Christmas and stuff like that, so who knows what we'll do this fall. Though I'm excited for fall because that's my favorite time of the year. Fall is my favorite time of the year, and then winter is my second favorite. I don't know, I think because of all the holidays and like time that you get to spend with your family. Granted, this year might be a little different with family stuff, but who knows? We shall see. We shall see. I leave some black. No. Didn't leave any black wool. Do do do. Boop 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 boop. Bye. Yummy in my tummy. I guess I could go check on how much wool I have in my auto, like wool farm, my auto wool farm. I want to know what the biggest wool farm is in Minecraft, like in the game. I'm sure there's some like insane wool farm out there that's like, it pumps out 4,400 wool an hour. Something insane, you know? Which I don't think I need. But maybe it would be worth looking into. But let's go look really quick. Got another egg. Oh my gosh. Yes. Alright, let's gather this. We need the black. Oh, there's a ton of... Wow, there's way more. Way more than I thought. Okay, let's put this all in here really quick. Sort it out properly here a bit. There's wool. We need lime as well. A good amount of lime. Really happy about that. And then, is there a decent amount of green? A decent amount. Not a ton, but better than nothing. I'm gonna close. And then we can put these in their respectful shulker boxes. That in there. There. And then this. Perfect. That in there really quick. Clean up. Any more green in here? There is, but that out and that in there. Slide in there, and then we fly over here really quick and we put all the lime in here. I have not gathered any of the lime. Go back over here. Perfect. Perfect. Let's fix this. Cool. Here we go. Okay. Block. Most of the wool. Do I have it all? Here. If only I was this dedicated to doing like the chores around my house, that would be ideal. You know what I mean? Staying on top of all the chores in the house, which I've been doing a decent job of. Like, let me not. Been cleaning my house recently. Got it nice, and it's not nice and like perfect by any means, but it's much more clean than it was, say, a week ago, which is not. I went ham the other night, like Saturday night, maybe. Yeah, I think it was Saturday night. Kind of crazy at the house. Or Friday night, something like that. Just went to work on the house. It was really nice. One of those nights where it was like, I'm gonna do some cleaning and just feel really good in the morning when I wake up. And I woke up and the living room was picked up, and I was like, oh man, this is so nice. I cooked breakfast that day. It was a great start to the day. There's something about waking up to a clean house, or a cleaner house. You know, dishes were cleaned. Most of them were, basically all of them were done. Went to bed with a load of dishes being washed. It was awesome. Went to bed with a load of laundry being done. Got up in the morning, switched that over. It was just really nice to see. You know what I mean? Though I am a little sad because our dryer is getting really old. I mean, it is really old. Let me rephrase that. And it takes forever to dry clothes. And so we have another dryer that we bought off of Facebook Marketplace, like, I don't know, a long time ago. I just haven't switched it over yet. I'm getting to the point where I'm probably gonna have to switch it over pretty soon. It's a little sad to see, but you know, it is what it is. Actually pretty happy with the fact that almost done with I'm not gonna mess with it yet. Almost done with one shulker box worth of wool. That feels really good because I think it turns into, there's, I don't know how many blocks. I don't know how much carpet that turns into. I guess I could look it up. How many pieces of carpet does a full shulker box of wool? Question mark. Let's see. That's not true. Hold on, I can do it like this. It takes 2 pieces. 64 times what? 27 is 1,728 blocks of wool, and you divide that by 2. So 864, and you multiply that by 3. Makes 2,500. 2,592. 263,500 divided by 2,392 is 110 shulker boxes. That's a lot. I need a lot of. I don't know if I did that right. I don't know if my math is math in there, but we need a lot of wool. We need a ridiculous amount of wool. Yeah. Back to collecting wool. This is my life. This is my life and I love it. I love it. I love my life. I love it. Okay, now it's starting to get cold in here. What the heck? I'm gonna turn that off. Weather in my area doesn't know what the heck it's doing with its life. It's just there. What? I'm gonna do something really. Let's see here. All right, there we go. I want this one. I want this one. Nora, convert. B1. Dude, how do I copy this? Be using mainly wool. Will I use anything else? Using any of that? Will I use that? Maybe I will. Let's be like. I want it. Come on. What am I doing here? Do it like that. Hey. I do this one. Still gonna look the same. Okay. I just can't tell. How I'm gonna do this. That's image. Page converted. This will work. The height. I need. That doesn't help. Let's see. Take out yellow. All blocks. Out of curiosity, I want to see what that. Anyway, select block. Do wool. Don't use any wood. Use stone. We will use stone. Will we use anything else? Maybe. No, we're just gonna use wool because it's going to. That's right. We're using wool. Just wool. We won't be using this. Won't be using any of these colors. Ink. It shouldn't have any white in it. That seems disgusting. Using that. I can use gray, we use black, I can use cyan. White. Pixel. Okay, cool. Whatever. That is basically it. Download image. And if I open that, does it show me the pixels? Does. Okay, sick. Awesome. Then we need to save this to Minecraft. Alright, bet. Yeah. Close window. Alright, now we can go back to excuse me, guys. Need to sleep. Getting cold, so I'm going to turn the heater on a little bit. Like a decent warmness. What a nice sound. I need to update to Windows 11. I don't want to, but I'm on Windows 10 and they're about to stop support, so I should do that soon. But I really don't want to, you know? I gotta make sure I fill up the potions after I collect all these. Wool. All of these wool. That's not English. After I shear the sheep and collect the wool. Okay. Collect the wool really quickly. All of it? I think it is. Darn. Brew some more? No problem. Oh, I have these. No weakness, but I might. I need one. Two and any more? Surely I do somewhere. In fact, I know I do. Or another word. Stone. You need more glass. Put up. Go get some more glass bottles. I know I have a bunch somewhere. Don't think too much about it. Oh. Here. Go up. He's in here. Okay. That. Ah! Already almost nighttime again, dude? What? No way. Do 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 do. Okay. Good go. Perfect. Wonderful. Back to this. Gracious Food, thank you for subscribing. That adds another ancient debris that we got to get towards the end. Yo, what's on? What's going on? Yep, I saw it. I heard it. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Another ancient debris I got to collect at the end of the stream. Or towards the end of the stream, anyways. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate the sub. Hope you're doing well today. Alright. Flux. Okay, we're good. Over here. Rinse and repeat. Dude, my nose is itching. No. Let me get the wool first. Ah, okay, gotta scratch. You gotta scratch it. Oh, my eyes. My nose. My eyes. My face. My thighs. Kind of a bar. Sort of. Okay. Go ahead and eat. Need blocks left hanging around now. And then we wait until they refill. Oh. Hold on. Got here. Alright. We're almost done with one shulker box. That feels so good. Paula. I'm just one, huh? What do you mean? Ancient debris, hold up real quick. Oh, you're saying you're just one? You're just worth one ancient debris? Look, I'm not saying you're worth just one ancient debris, okay? I don't know you well enough to tell you if you're worth just one ancient debris. You could be worth 14,000 for all I know. But all I'm doing is gathering one for each. I don't know if you answered this already, but why don't you have all your tools netherite? Because I'm a lazy Minecrafter who doesn't want to go get all the ancient debris. Part of like adding in... Part of like my whole theme of for every sub I'll get an ancient debris is slowly working towards that. Right now, let's see, how much do I have? I have 26 plus crap. But yeah, there's not, I don't know, there's not like a huge... I like the way the netherite looks, netherite armor, netherite tools. I like the way it looks, but there's no... What's the difference between... I don't know, it's like a little bit more efficient durability-wise. 500. You know, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's really that worth it for the amount of time that you have to spend going and finding it. It seems more like a chore than anything. It doesn't break the game in any way. I think it'd be really cool if, like, there was some, like, necessarily game breaking, but, like, I don't know. There's a huge difference between going from iron to diamond, right? At least that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it's that important going from diamond to nether. Wish it felt important. Other than it being like fire resistant, it doesn't burn. That's my whole thing about it. But you mix in the aspect of me just kind of being lazy. There's that part of it. I hope that answers your question. It's not a great reason for not getting it, but that is my reason. So we are almost at the place where we can start looking in this chest, which means we're one, right? No, we are a couple of chests away from being done with the slime grind. We're like 6 chests away, which is what, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours away, maybe, from being able to never collect. Okay, let me not say that, because I said that before. Not have to collect slime blocks for probably a really long time. We're just so incredibly close to being done with this grind, and I can't even begin to express how excited I am to not have to look at slime blocks again. I'm stoked for that moment. I'll carry 2 of these. Ooh. Let's see. Do we get another chicken? No. Beggars can't be choosers. It is what it is. We'll get one eventually. Or another one, because we've already gotten a few. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Look at it. I'm talking. Now the real question is, at what point do I stop collecting ancient debris? Because at some point, if I continue doing YouTube long enough and continue making better videos and growing my subscribers, at some point it's just going to get to a point where it's like, nah, dude, there's way too much. OP Sam, I just came across your channel through storage video, and I must say you're actually so underrated. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. I'm still not done with that storage unit. In fact, if I wasn't collecting slime right now, I'd fly over there and show you where I'm at. I've added the second section, and I'm sure at some point I'll like continue adding it until I have all the blocks that I need to store in there. But I've never made a super storage. That was a interesting project. Very fun project, but interesting nonetheless. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. That took a long time. it took a stupid amount of time to build that and make the video. But I'm curious to know if this next video is going to take longer. It probably will, because it's a much larger project. But it doesn't feel like it. Maybe I don't know. So how many ancient debris is that? I have 26 so far. I have enough ancient debris to, I think, make all my tools and armor netherite. I just haven't done it yet. Mainly because I don't want to fly to the nether and get the gold to do it. For someone who does really large projects in Minecraft, I am an oddly lazy Minecrafter. I'm trying to be more creative with builds. How do you implement ideas that you have into actual designing? I don't know if that makes sense. Looks dope. Thank you, Sam. I don't know. So I have Lightmatica installed, but I don't use it. I don't actually know how to use it. I just installed it because the builds I do are so large. I figured it's probably worth learning World Edit and stuff. I just haven't learned it yet. So everything that I've done in this world so far, it has been like from my head. So this whole build, the 3 hearts, that was all in my head. There is some software I kind of use to kind of help me make outlines for stuff. Like I'll go put a Minecraft heart in like a pixel generator to kind of get an idea of the scale of stuff. But other than that, it's all in my head, and I just kind of go out there and place it. You subbed with 3 of your alts? One, thank you. But 1, 2, alright, so that means I have 5 ancient debris I gotta gather today. Gracious Booth, you're a sick individual. You're a sick individual. But thank you for the subs. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I don't know if that is the answer you were looking for, but everything I've done so far is off the top of my head. And I just kind of go and place blocks. I get a general idea of what it is. I get a general idea of the blocks that I'm going to use. Collect those blocks, I go and place it, and then I step back, fly away, look at it, and if I like it, I keep going. If I hate it, I make adjustments. It's not the most efficient way of doing things by any means, but I don't know. I look at Minecrafters who use Lightmatica and who have this massive plan, and I think that from an efficient perspective is definitely the best course, but for me, I think it takes away from the enjoyment of Minecraft. I think there is something beautiful and fun and oddly enough a little irritating about just placing blocks, taking a step back, hating what you do, and then taking it down and redoing it. But that's just me. There's no like right or wrong way to play Minecraft. That's how I choose to play, and in the future I may change that. I don't know. I have no idea. But sorry if that doesn't help you at all. Probably doesn't really answer your question, but or maybe that wasn't the answer you were looking for. That's how I play. You're a lazy builder as well? Yeah, I am that way. That's why I started this world, and it was an attempt for me to try and not force myself. That seems weird. It was an attempt to get better at building, knowing that I generally, before I started this world, I would like mine all the time. I would make farms, and then I'd beat the game, and then I'd restart. And I was like, there's a whole nother aspect of Minecraft that I think I was missing out on, which is the building aspect. So like these trees, that was the first time I made custom trees. I don't think they're ugly, but I don't think they're great. And then obviously I have the custom trees inside the storage unit area. I thought this would be kind of cool, just kind of for the lore of it all. Initially, this was like my villagers. Like if they needed food, where would they go? Oh, they would have a farm, right? And they would have sheep and cows and stuff. I just haven't tied these guys into a like actual in area because I'm the whole like I guess lazy aspect of me is like I don't know how to tie it in yet, and the thought of thinking about that is giving me a headache. So I just kind of stopped with this and then just moved on to that. And right now I don't know what I want to do with the rest of this build, so I'm not going to force myself to continue working on it if it's not fun and I don't have any ideas. So now I have an idea for the end, and so that's what I'm working on. And after I'm done with the build that I have in the end, I don't know how far I'll get into it. Maybe I'll complete it 100%, maybe I won't. But while I'm working on that, I'll think about what I want to do next. I have a general idea of what I want to do with the middle heart in this build, but I need a lot of resources for that, and I want it to be a portal room and a super smelter. So I don't know what I want to do with the portal room. I don't know exactly how I want it to look, so I haven't been messing with it. I know I'm going to need a ton of resources for the actual portal, or for the super smelter, but I don't know. Augie, what's up? I can totally relate. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think for a long time, especially since I started making content on Minecraft, I've made content for a couple of years now, and initially I was just trying to pump out content because I felt that's what people wanted to watch. But the more I've played and the more content I've made, the more I've realized like it's less about pumping out content, not the quantity, it's the quality. And so if I'm not happy with the video, then how can someone else be happy with it? And so I'd rather take time building something and really being like knowing exactly what I want to do and then working towards that through a video than, oh, I started a new world, let's knock out 45 farms and let's go kill the dragon and get max gear and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just want to enjoy the game. So I think that has been the best thing for me. And I think most people should attempt to play Minecraft that way. Whether you're using mods or Lightmatic or whatever, just be very thoughtful and just enjoy what you're doing. Because if not, you're gonna burn out, and that's another thing for me. Like if I don't want to play Minecraft, if I'm tired of playing Minecraft, I don't play. No, I don't. It's not like I make enough money from YouTube for it to for me to have a serious thought about whether or not I should go in and force myself to play. If this was paying for my bills and everything, then maybe I'd approach it a little differently, but it doesn't. So it's just I'm going to enjoy the process and enjoy making content and building a YouTube channel. And when I cross that bridge, if it ever grows to that point, then cool. Well, I'll have that conversation with myself and figure out how I want to approach it. But I'm not going to force myself to do something that I don't want to do because I love this game. And I don't ever want to get to a point where I hate logging in. You know what I mean? Quality is better. True. Trying out a hardcore world, I'm bad with the challenge of it because I play so aggressive and die a lot. I don't want to play. I guess I'm trying to have patience with the world itself is difficult. I am 100% that way. My deaths in this game have always been because I'm working on some kind of tedious grind, and I die because I'm like watching a YouTube video or something and I'm not paying attention, or I press my inventory key instead of pausing the game, and I run to go use the restroom, and then while I go use the restroom, I realize oh, I'm hungry, so then I start cooking food, and so I'm gone for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I come back and I'm dead, right? And so yeah, finding how you want to play Minecraft and sticking to that, I think, is incredibly important. Especially when you live in a world where you're constantly, I mean, I don't know how much YouTube you watch, but I constantly watch YouTube. Sometimes it's Minecraft related, other times it's not, but I'm constantly comparing myself to other YouTubers, and I'm like, I want to do that, and so I'm constantly forcing myself to do something when I don't need to. And I think that's been the biggest difference with my YouTube channel recently is like, if you want to watch, cool, come hang out in the stream or watch my videos. But if you don't like it, I mean, then you don't like it. There's, I can't be mad at you for that. I don't like, I don't know, let me think about foods that I don't like. I don't like vegetables, right? And there's nothing you or anybody else can say to me that's going to make me like them. You know what I mean? So, I feel like YouTube Shorts, you can go a bit more quantity based, but you still want to put effort into them. Yeah, YouTube Shorts are really weird for me because with my long form videos, I spend, my last video, I probably spent 20 or 30 hours editing that out. I mean, I had to go through almost 200 hours of footage. Like, it was a long process, right? And I have general ideas of where I'm like AFKing, and so I can cut those out, and so that takes out a few hours. But generally, it's like I'm going through hours and hours. With the short, I have a general idea, and I'm like, okay, I think about different times that I was recording, and I'm like, okay, I think I could use this footage, but I really haven't figured out shorts very well. Shorts are very confusing for me. That's a whole different ball game. But shorts are a great way if you want to start pumping out some quantity. But if you look at really well performing shorts, these are individuals that either have I don't want to say they have a team. I don't know if they have a team, but they are really, the quality of shorts is only getting better. And I haven't been doing shorts long enough. I don't understand how they work. I don't understand how the YouTube algorithm works around them. I barely even understand how the YouTube algorithm works around long form videos. So I don't know. I think that's what's so interesting about YouTube. It's a puzzle for me, almost, in a sense. It's like another video game that I'm playing while playing Minecraft. That makes sense. So I just rambled for like 15 minutes, feels like. But yeah. Yes is my answer. Yes. To everything I just said. Just yes. I'm doing a YouTube short series right now where I draw my subscribers, and on the first episode I made it up to 50 subs. Ooh. That's a great idea. I can't draw to save my life, so there will never be a day where I do that. Maybe in Minecraft I would do that. Nah, no way. No shot. No shot I'd do that. Maybe? Nah, never. I would never do that. But if you have the skill set to draw, like, why not, Why the heck not? Also, like, especially if you love drawing, that seems like a great way to practice, get better at your craft. Things of that nature. Just, Let's back up. Dude, I can't find the perfect temperature inside my office right now. I have a little heater, and I have it on one of the lowest levels. And it's getting too hot. But if I turn it down one level, it starts to get really cold, and I don't know what to do about it. I need 9, 10, I need 12. 2, need that. I need that many. I didn't really count. I was counting. Perfect. I need to make more of these. Oh, nah, we can wait a little bit. We can wait just a smidgen. Let's sleep. Over. So yeah, that's what I'm doing for the end build is going to be my members only area. So I would like to do that. Add them into the end. Some kind of loose idea. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I know what the build's going to look like. I just don't know how I'm going to incorporate them. That is a massive drawback. It's trying to find the balance between. So the only reason I do shorts, and the only time I do shorts is if I'm like, if something happens during one of my big builds that I think is kind of cool. Like my most recent short was the fact that I'm collecting, 263,000 slime blocks. And when I started doing the math, I was like, that's a massive number of slime balls. right? But other than that, I don't want to make shorts because I don't know. I'm not a big shorts guy in terms of content creation. I watch shorts and stuff, but you know, I'm more fascinated in long form video because I like telling stories. I just love stories in general. I love reading fantasy books and stuff like that. And so being able, and I love like TV shows, I love movies, and I've always found it fascinating when a director or so well that I genuinely believe that they are who they're playing. You know what I mean? I think there's something incredibly special and incredible about that. And so my goal has always been to make each mega build that I do, or anything that I do in Minecraft, or any YouTube video I make, I want it to be a story. And I don't feel like Shorts does that for me very well, mainly because when I'm telling a story, I find it really difficult kind of piecing together everything that's happening. With Shorts, I go through so much footage that I don't know, I kind of lose. I don't know how to explain it. It's really difficult for me. And so, but I love people who do shorts content that are able to do that. I think Ryan Trahan is a really good example of like taking really cool random ideas and putting it into short form and telling a really small story, and he executes that really well. But that's an art that I have not even attempted to master. I just kind of, if I have an idea, I try it out, and if it works on the shorts feed, great. If it doesn't, then and it doesn't. It's kind of whatever. My long form is where I'm really focused, and it's like I want to do really well in these videos. Shorts is just kind of throwing something out there, seeing if it sticks, and moving forward. I would be a member, but I'm unemployed and flat broke. I understand, and I don't want anyone to ever feel like they have to be a member. The best thing anyone can do for me and my channel is to just watch the videos all the way through. If you're interested in doing that, that's the most helpful thing. Anything else is like a cherry on top. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's all. And I don't know, I know you can make a big push for memberships, and I could like shout, hey, remember guys, if you wanna help support me, you can be a member, blah 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 blah. I don't care, dude. I don't care. You're able to and want to, and it's not gonna ruin put you in a bad financial spot, cool. If not, you just watch the videos, sweet. I'm just making content because I enjoy it. Also don't know, like, other than the members only area, I know there's like perks that you can add for people and their members, and I do have like some icons that you get to use in chat and stuff, but beyond that, I don't really have I don't even know what I would offer. Because like I don't do servers. I'm not interested in doing servers. Generally play by myself, mainly because I've played on a server in the past with some friends and they ruined my builds. No, I didn't even get to finish a build. I just had a friend that kept bothering me while I was doing something, and it started to make it, I got so mad and annoyed by it that I was like, dude, I don't know if playing on servers is for me. I'm just not very social. I even played on a server with my cousin, and I played for like, I kid you not, probably 5 hours, and then I was like, I want to play on this world. So I just left. So I really got to figure out like what I would offer. If I grow big enough, there's some stuff that I want to do. Like I started an apparel brand a long time ago, and I would like to bring that back. But it doesn't have anything to do with Minecraft. I don't want it to be like merch or anything like that. I don't want like the Splunky brand on it or anything like that. It was a passion project of mine, and I want it to. So maybe I'll sign some of that. Like if I ever bring that back, I'll sign that and send that out to members. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That's why when I stream both I do the horizontal kind of like long form streams, and then I do the vertical streams to the shorts feed. I will talk to any, like I can't tell who's watching on which stream, but I stream to the shorts feed purely for exposure. And if someone wants to subscribe and they kind of like the stream and they check out my channel because of that, great. But that's the only reason I kind of do short stuff. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It is purely exposure. I don't know what the conversion rate is of like people who watch shorts and are on vertical streams to like actually watching long form content on my channel, but I mean, it can't hurt, I don't think. I mean, maybe it can, but I don't know. I haven't dove that deep into the analytics to actually find out. I just kind of, a friend tell me that you can do it, and I was trying to figure out how to do it a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't working, and so he kind of led me to a guide, and I followed that guide, and now it's working, and I don't know, we're just seeing what happens. You're so self-centered like that. 100%. I try not to be. Like when I play other games, I play Call of Duty. Some of my best friends I met through playing Call of Duty. And so I'll play like social games like that because I'm naturally a super competitive person. But when I play, I guess when I play Minecraft and I play specifically on a server and someone messes with my stuff, it feels like a competition almost. And I get incredibly angry and competitive, and it's just not a fun environment for me when I'm playing Minecraft. Minecraft is a relaxing game for me. If I want to play something competitive, I'll go play Call of Duty, I'll play League of Legends, something like that, right? Where I can scream and, you know, say words I shouldn't and stuff like that. When I play Minecraft, though, I want to hang out with my sheep and my slime farm and not have to think about, you know, a leaderboard or something like that. I woke up this morning and said you were streaming. I was like, yeah, love that. Love it. I'm trying to, I didn't think I was going to be like start streaming all that much because I used to stream a lot in the past, and it's a grind. Like streaming is not for the faint of heart. And I used to do a lot of streaming on Twitch, mainly because I think my personality fits streaming a whole lot better, which is weird considering the fact that like I'm naturally a super shy person, but because I can't physically see you, like we're not in person, and I'm looking at a monitor / a camera, even though I don't have my camera on, which I'll probably never have my camera on. That was a personal decision that I made when I started this channel. But I don't know, like my personality, it's so much easier to talk, and I think I react a whole lot better versus making long form content. I'm sure you can tell the difference between the way I'm talking right now during a live stream versus if you go watch my video. I'm a whole lot more monotone, mainly because I'm thinking and focusing really hard on what I'm supposed to be saying based off the clip that I'm either commentating over or voicing over or whatever, you know. But I didn't think I was going to stream because it's a whole lot more time consuming because you have to be present, you know, versus making a video. I can just step away if I need to go do something, or if my family wants to hang out or something, I can just step away. Or if I'm just struggling in general, having a rough day, I can take a step back and, you know, regroup. Oh, my bad, dog. That wasn't personal. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know if that makes any sense, though. Yeah. So, I'm glad you guys are understanding. Because sometimes I talk about this, like I'll talk about this with my wife, and she's like, babe, I love you, and I support you, and I'm glad that you love doing this. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I'm like, okay. All right, cool. At least you're honest. I respect that. Cool. Awesome. We got a shulker box of black wool. Only 9 more of each color to go. And then I have 10 that I got to do for the lime green. It should be fun. I think that's going to be more than enough wool for all the carpet I'm going to need for the end, but who knows, right? Who actually knows? That's full. Awesome, we got a shulker box of each. I am stoked about that. And we can put this up. I don't really need to carry 2 since I have a wife. Yeah, I have a wife, and I have kids. I'm older than what you probably assume I am. I'm 31. It does make a lot of sense, not gonna lie. I'm glad. I'm glad it's making sense. No cap. But yeah, no, I'm 31. I've been making YouTube videos. When did I make my first? I think I was in. I'm like, first off, I think I'm Mog Swamp's age. I may be a little older than he is. No, we graduated the same year, so I'm the same age as Mog Swamp. I made my first YouTube video. I think I was in like the 8th grade, or a freshman in high school. How did I have kids? Well, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very, very much. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going into that, but you know how it happens, okay? Yep, I have a son and I have a daughter, and then we have a third on the way. So crazy, right? Life comes at you fast, all right? So if you're young and you don't have kids and you're just experiencing life, enjoy it. I don't know if you want to have kids when you're older. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Doesn't really matter, but enjoy life, man. That is all I can say. Like, not that I don't enjoy life. I love my life. Let me make that very, 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 very clear. I love my wife. She is the most amazing person in the world, and I genuinely don't know where I'd be in life without her. She is my voice of reason when I am not thinking clearly. She is my safe space. She is a person I can trust with anything. She's incredible. And then my kids are the best thing about me, the best thing I've ever done. I've done a lot of dumb in my life, and they are the one of the few things that I've done right. So, you thought I was like 19? Yeah, no, I was at one point, but I was doing a lot of stupid then. Nah, not 19. Would I want to be 19 again, though? It's a fascinating question. That's an interesting thought. I don't know. I've always loved getting older. I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, dude, stay young forever. I wish I could be 19 again or 20 again. And I don't know. There's aspects of being 19 and 20 that were cool. I was also dirt poor at 19. Not that I'm like filthy rich or anything now, because I'm not. My wife and I, we do okay. We're doing just fine. But like, I remember being super stressed about paying rent. I don't want to go back to that at all. I don't want to be in that space again. That was a very stressful time for me. Yeah, I don't know. I was playing basketball in college and eating ramen noodles because I couldn't afford food. Like, it was a very stressful time. It's cool being young because like your back and your ankles and stuff don't hurt, but like, I don't know. I was never big into partying either. Like, I always hated the fact that like in college everyone's like, hey, let's go out and party tonight. Okay, well, what time are we going out? Oh, we're gonna start getting ready at about 9, and then we'll hit the bars and stuff at 11. Why are we going out at 11 o'clock at night? I don't want to go out at 11 o'clock at night. I want to be home. Like, I'll drink at home by myself. I would rather do that watching Netflix or watching anime or hanging out with my wife than going and partying at a bar that I don't necessarily want to be at, around people I don't care about, drinking alcohol, you know? Thought I was closer to you in age. Nah, brother. I guess it depends on you know. I guess it depends, right? Like if I was 55, that would be different, right? We'd be a lot further than what I am now versus what you are. Glad to know you thought I was in my early 20s. I bet you it's because of the way I sound. I don't have this like old, deep sounding voice. I do have a lot of siblings, so I kind of hear all the lingo from like younger generations. Which, oh, let's see, I'm the tail end of millennials. You guys would be what, Gen Z? Is that what you guys are? So I don't know. Also, the older you get, the more you realize that, like, imagine we're probably within 15 years of age with each other. It's not that far apart. Like, because like if you think about it, when I'm 70, you guys are gonna be what? 55 in that area, the youngest. That's not that far apart. But because you guys are so young, right now, it feels like a lifetime away. And I felt the same way when I was 19, 20 years old. I was like, dude, 30 seems so far away. And then it happened, and I was like, that kind of went by in a blink. But no one, you're not gonna understand that until the day comes that you turn 30, and you're like, oh, I see what Splunky was talking about. The shenanigans afterwards is, oh, dude, nothing good happens after midnight. I don't care what anyone says. Nothing good happens after midnight. There was a party that I went to. My brother played basketball in college as well, and he had a teammate who came over. His team came over. We had a party at our apartment. It was a massive party, one that was the biggest party I've ever been a part of, which I did not intentionally go to. It just happened to be thrown at our apartment complex by some other room. I've never seen that many people partying in one spot in my life. There was probably 1,000 of us. We got shut down by the police. It was insane. There was a firearm that was brought to that party that my brother grabbed. Like one of his teammate had a friend who was in the streets. I'm gonna put it that way, okay? And so he always had a gun on him, and he got to the party and he was like, hey, talking to my brother, he's like, hey, can you put this up in like your room somewhere? So my brother grabbed it, and I was like, and he brought it like to our room, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? Why did you grab that? Because now his DNA is all over it. So I grab it from him, and I try, being dumb, I don't know what I was doing, but I wipe it off with my shirt. I don't know if it gets the DNA off. I doubt it. But all I could think about was like, my brother's playing basketball. I'm no longer playing basketball in college at this point. I stopped playing. I don't want my brother getting in trouble or something happening. So I grab it and wipe my hands all over it. I'm like, if something happens, I'm going to take the fall. I can't have my brother going to prison or jail. That makes no, like, that's not going to happen, right? It's stuff like that where it's like, you just don't know what's going to happen. And then later on, one of his teammates, we found out probably within the past 2 years, ended up committing murder. Like, what? This dude was in our house, was in our room hanging out with us, was in our apartment chatting with us like a normal 19-year-old kid at the time. And then years later commits murder. Like, it's stuff like that where I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm weird and just am like super not trusting of people, but I don't know. I don't want to be caught in that type of environment. I already don't necessarily care for drinking alcohol. You feel like crap the next day when you get super drunk. Bad stuff can happen. It's a whole thing, you know? I just avoid it like the plague. And then on top of that, like I worked a lot at the time, so like we're partying until 3 and 4 a.m. and then I got to get up for work in like 6 hours or 5 hours. It's like, nah, bro, I don't want to do this. This sucks. Why we think it's fun? And then you turn 30, and I kid you not, there is nothing. Okay, maybe there is some stuff more peaceful than hanging out at your house, but I don't know. You turn 30, and it's like, nah, dude, it's so peaceful coming home at 7 o'clock, and it's like, no, we're good. People are like, you want to come hang out? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. What did I walk into? Oh, we're talking about life, okay? We're talking about some of my life experiences, and just some of the things I don't like and why I don't like it. In your country, it's illegal. You know what? Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I don't want to tell people how to live their lives, but I'm just not interested in drinking like that is my whole thing. There are other ways of having fun, in my personal opinion, and I kind of stick to those. Wait, where? Okay, okay. I don't know what I got really confused there. Within 12. 14, 15. Cool. Don't need 15. I will say though, like, I don't know. I think it's cool to have the experience of going out and partying. If you're into that, cool. But there's also like a time frame. There's like an age where it's like, I don't know. There's like a point in life where you're like, I don't know if I should. I'm not worried about that aspect. That's such a cool thing to worry, like, not have to worry about. I was always stressed out about the amount of alcohol that was around. Even though we were all of legal age, it was just, I don't know, it's just a lot. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, no, I live in the U.S., bro. Everybody has a weapon. That's a lie. I don't have a gun. Though I do want one. I've shot a number of guns. Um, I think guns are kind of cool, to be honest. But it's only, I think it's one of those things where like if you're gonna have a gun, you need to be responsible. You need to go through training. You should be licensed. That's my opinion. Others may not agree with that, and that's fine. But I would never want to have a gun or be around someone that has a gun who isn't licensed and doesn't know how to handle the firearm. Because I don't know. Didn't go to school with this guy. He went to not a rival high school, but a different high school in my city. Who went to a club, had a pistol on him, and the gun went off and shot him in the leg. Now he didn't die. He didn't even realize he got shot because the music was so loud in the club. He just all of a sudden was like, he was like, why are my pants wet? And he touched his pants and blood all over his hand, and he was like, dude, what the heck is going on? So it's like that aspect of gun ownership. Like it's something that you don't take lightly. It's kind of like driving a vehicle. Like you should be, not that I'm always the most responsible, but you know what I mean? Like there's just certain aspects of things where like life is precious, dude. And it can disappear in a heartbeat. Most people have a story of losing a loved one to something crazy. No different. I've had that happen, and like, I don't know, man. It's just be smart. Enjoy your youth, absolutely, but be super smart. Try to be as responsible as you can. There's aspects of life that like you don't understand until you've experienced it, and hopefully there's like the outcome isn't terrible. But life happens quick. How do I explain it? One of the best ways of explaining that I've ever heard is like the days are long, but the years are short, and I find that to be so true. You wake up, like, matter of fact, 2025, we're halfway done with 2025, basically. That's a weird thought. It feels like yesterday that this year started, you know what I mean? And so, just enjoy it as much as you can. Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, not my country. Not in the U.S. Well, maybe. I don't know. Like, I know on the news we have atrocities with guns that happen here in the U.S. and like things that should never happen, right? And I'll die on the hill. Like they're like no one should ever have to worry about going to school. You shouldn't have to worry about whether or not you're going to be safe walking through your university or walking into your high school, elementary school, middle school, whatever it is. And it's sad that that's something that kids worry about and parents worry about and just us as Americans in general worry about. That being said, if you look at the stats, there are a whole lot more ways of dying in the U.S. than gun-related incidents. And so you just only hear about all the gun-related incidents. You don't hear about, the fact that like 70% of our population is obese and dying of heart failure. You don't hear about, the drug epidemic that's going on. You just hear about, the guns, people going into a school and firing it up, and or someone driving a vehicle through a crowd of people. Like, you know what I mean? Again, those should never happen. But if we're going to talk about, in my opinion, if you're going to talk about, the atrocities here in the U.S., let's talk about all of it. Let's talk about how our medical system is there are wonderful, amazing people who work in medicine. My wife is one of them. And there are people within that tell their patients, hey, you need to make a lifestyle change. But there are also way more people who are like, here's some medicine, go take that. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's that aspect of the news that I hate. We pick and choose what we pump out. We don't give the full truth here in the US. Don't know if that's the case across the world. Because I know that the US is a very sheltered country in terms of the type of news that we put out. And our country is so big, it's almost not, I don't know how important it is for our news, our media companies to pump out information about other countries, because we're that big of a country. Matt, like that, like I could drive for 17 straight hours in almost any direction in the US from where I'm at and still be in the US. You know what I mean? And so I think that's another thing that, like, if you're not from the US and you're from a smaller country, or you're surrounded by a bunch of small countries and you can go travel, you know, 5 hours and go through 4 or 5 countries, it's very hard to wrap your mind around how large the US is if you've never been here. Because, like, most Americans don't have, I have a passport because I've done a little bit of traveling outside of the US, but there's really no reason for me to ever leave the US. I could go to, if I wanted to go to a desert, I could go to, there's like 4 or 5 different deserts in the US I could go to. If I wanted to go see the mountains, there are like 4 or 5 different mountain ranges I could go visit. Some are wooded, some have snow caps, some are in the desert. Like, there's so much here. There's no real reason to leave the US. I could take vacations every year from now until I die, and they could all be in the US. You know, it's a very different place. And then on top of that, talking about different cultures, the South is completely different from the North, which is completely different from the East, which is completely different from the West, which is completely different from Central US. I mean, it's a different, it's an entirely different, I don't know. That's not even including like Alaska, which isn't connected to the continental US, or Hawaii, which isn't connected to the continental US. You know what I mean? Like, we could even go there. I could go to what's it called? Tropical environment and still be a part of the US. I have to fly there or take a boat, but I can still go. I wouldn't require, it doesn't require me to have a passport. It's fascinating how large the US is. And so, I don't know, I guess it all kind of ties together as to why the US is the way that we are. And as many problems as we have, there's one thing that, like, I will say about Americans that if you're not from here, or if you don't live here or haven't lived here for a long time, Americans, it may not seem like it, we are an incredibly proud people. And it's, oh, hey. That is kind of cool. I kind of want those. Let's go grab those. Hold on. We're an incredibly proud people, and we have like a relationship of like siblings, right? Like, I can mess with my sibling, but if anyone else messes with my sibling, there's gonna be a problem. And we feel that way. Like, we do a lot of dumb stuff, and we'll talk trash about each other. But if something bad happens in the U.S., we will throw hands. It's, you know, maybe, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but that's kind of how we are. And so, I don't know. Oh, it only gives me 7? I don't know why I thought I'd get more than... Whatever. Whatever. Let's just stick them in here, I guess. That works. Just a matter of being responsible at the end of the day. I agree. I 1000% agree. I was raised to believe that, well, I didn't finish collecting all this. I was raised to believe that it is my responsibility to leave the world, and specifically my country, in better hands than I received it. Like, my kids don't owe me anything. They didn't make it. They didn't get to decide who their parents were, or the fact that they were born into this world. They didn't have that choice. That was a choice my wife and I made. And so it's our responsibility to make sure that we leave them with the tools and resources that they need to be successful, and hopefully they take that and apply that to their kids. Like, if my kids need anything, within reason, right? Like, if they're doing dumb stuff and they're like, hey, Mom, Dad, we need money. Nah, nah, you're doing dumb. You do something that ends you up in prison, don't call me to come break you out. I'm not paying your bail. You get to stay in prison and do your time. You do the crime, you do the time. But if they're really struggling with something outside of that, and they're making good decisions and they're working hard, and they just, you know, when you're young, you just need help sometimes, they will have my number. Give me a call, shoot me a text, reach out to Mom and Dad. We will be there. But at no point will I ever go to my kids and say, hey, Mom and Dad are struggling, can you give us this? Ever. I refuse to ever. I will not do that. because they have every right once they leave our house to go out and experience the world to the fullest in whatever way that they feel they should. And the only reason I say that is because I know people that are a part of my life who think that I owe them stuff just because we know each other. Nah, absolutely not. Respect that a lot. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I think that's important. I think we've as Americans, at least in my environment and what I grew up in, I think we've lost the ability to just be real. And I don't know. I think that's done a disservice to not only my generation, but like generations after me. Too many people. I'm not saying you should go out there and be a jerk to people, but like we need a healthy dose of being real, of like, no, what you're doing is stupid. I don't agree with it. I love you, but I don't agree with it. So I'm not going to support it. Or, you know, this whole idea of like, I'm supposed to cater to everybody's feelings. I can barely handle my own feelings sometimes. I'm stressed or pissed off or whatever the case is. And I'm supposed to like cater to everybody else. Nah, bro, I don't have the energy to do that. I got enough going on in my life. And this idea that like everybody at every point in time is thinking about every other person and all their problems in the world, like that's not real. That doesn't happen. Most of us are thinking about the problems within the four walls that we are living in, whether that's an apartment, a house, a townhome, a shack. It doesn't matter what it is. You're dealing with your own problems. And so when I see people who are like, you know, this is how I feel, like, no, I understand you feel that way, and I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you're struggling. But when people are like, aren't you more supportive or this, that, and the other? It's like, because I'm dealing with my own crap, dude. I'm dealing with my own problems. I don't have the time to be your babysitter. I'm not your dad. I got 2 kids. I'm their dad. I'm 22 now. What do you think is something that I should ignore that we do ignore all the time? Health. Your health. Maybe you're super healthy and like super conscious about your health. But you're going to be surprised as life becomes more busy, as you start your careers. Health is wealth, bro. It is so important. I don't care if you don't have to go lift weights. You don't have to go run a marathon, but spend 20-30 minutes going for a walk out. It's like, just get outside, put your phone down, turn off the computers, turn off the TV, go outside and walk for 30-45 minutes. If you could do it every day, that's going to be great, but at least a few times a week. Be very thoughtful about the food that you buy. Not saying don't go out and enjoy McDonald's or whatever from time to time. Definitely do. But dude, health is so important. 2 bulging discs in my lower back from dumb decisions I made lifting weights when I was younger, on top of like just playing sports in general, and like doing a whole lot better now. But when I found out years ago that I had this problem, and like I couldn't, my wife had to help me stand up off of the couch. I had to walk around my house with a walker for like 2 or 3 months because the pain in my lower back and the nerve pain from it. So like, it's so real for me to say that. Like, take care of yourself as much as you can. And people find it selfish when it's like, which I find to be weird, but like maybe it is important to, maybe they're right, but be selfish about your health. Like if someone's telling you no, you can work out later, it's like, no, this is part of my routine. This is important to me. And like, especially as you get into like a serious relationship, if that ever happens, I want to be around for my kids when they're adults. I want to be around for my grandkids. Heck, I want to be so healthy that I get the opportunity to meet my great grandkids, if that is a possibility, right? And people will be like, it's like, you work out all the time and you eat so clean and blah, 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 blah. And really they're pushing their insecurities on you of like, because they're not healthy, but they'll tell you to sacrifice your routine and your health to spend time with them. And it's like, no, you need to be selfish about that, because anything can happen.